My girlfriend said her job banned social media, then my friend found her secret Instagram. The clinking of silverware on my mother's fine china was the only sound in the room, a delicate, unnerving percussion accompanying the silent tension. It was the 6-month anniversary of my father's death, a milestone that felt both impossibly long and tragically short. My head was swimming, a thick, syrupy fog that had become my constant companion for the last several weeks. My fiancée, Clara, sat beside me, her hand a proprietary weight on my thigh. Across the table, my uncle Robert, the executor of my father's estate and a retired police detective, watched me with an expression I couldn't quite decipher. It was a mixture of concern and something sharper, something analytical. The terms of my inheritance were simple, and public knowledge within the family. Remain sober for 1 year following my father's passing, and the controlling shares of his company, my legacy, would be mine. Fail, and everything would be managed by a trust. With Clara, my devoted fiancée, appointed as its primary administrator. Clara squeezed my leg. "Are you all right, darling?" she murmured, her voice a perfect confection of sweet anxiety, loud enough for the whole table to hear. "You look a little pale." I tried to focus on her face, but the edges were blurry, indistinct. The chandelier above us seemed to pulse with a sickly yellow light. I felt a wave of nausea, a familiar but unwelcome sensation that mimicked the hangovers of a life I'd fought tooth and nail to leave behind. I was 5 years sober, a fact that was my single greatest accomplishment. Yet in that moment, my body was betraying me, staging a phantom relapse that I couldn't explain. I felt dizzy, my thoughts sluggish and disconnected. It had started subtly a month or so after Dad died. Fatigue, confusion, moments of profound disorientation. Clara had attributed it to grief. Now, it was a constant state of being. "Just tired," I managed to say, the words feeling thick and foreign in my mouth. I took a sip of water, the glass trembling in my hand. My mother's gaze was sharp with worry. My sister, already convinced I was a ticking time bomb, looked on with a kind of grim satisfaction, as if her lowest expectations were finally being met. Clara's performance was masterful. She dabbed my forehead with a napkin, smoothed my hair back, and spoke to the family in a hushed, conspiratorial tone. "The pressure has been immense for him. Losing his father, the weight of the company. I've been so worried. He hasn't been sleeping." She was painting a picture for them, laying the groundwork for a narrative I was too weak to refute. The narrative of the grieving son, the recovering addict, cracking under the strain. It was the perfect, tragic story, and everyone was buying it. I excused myself, stumbling slightly as I pushed my chair back. In the hallway, I leaned against the cool wall, trying to get my bearings. The fog in my head was a physical presence, a suffocating blanket. From the dining room, I could hear Clara's voice, carrying clearly. "I just want to support him," she was saying, her tone laced with a theatrical sorrow. "But he's shutting me out. He's exhibiting all the old behaviors, the secrecy, the exhaustion. I'm scared he's using again, but I don't know how to help him without pushing him away." My blood ran cold. It wasn't a question. It was a diagnosis. She was planting a seed, a poisonous vine that would wrap around my reputation and choke it to death. In that moment, I hated her. It was a flash of pure, unadulterated loathing that cut through the chemical haze for just a second. A moment of startling clarity before the fog rolled back in. I didn't know how she was doing it, but I knew, with a certainty that chilled me to the bone, that this was her work. The next day, the true nature of her work was laid bare. My best friend Leo came over. He'd been my staunchest ally through recovery, the one person besides my sponsor who understood the daily battle. He'd never liked Clara, a fact he'd made clear with polite but firm distance. Full story on channel link below.